Yosef is getting ready to meet his father Yankiv, and Baruch Hashem, they finally do meet. And Yosef is running towards Yaakov, and Yaakov says, "No, stop!" Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem. Oh, Yosef, Shalom Aleichem. The ultimate in Ahavas Hashem. There's nothing like it. Really, what Yaakov wants to do is to run like Michigan, hug and kiss him like there's no tomorrow. 22 years I was waiting for this. But he realizes there's something bigger than that. And that's called HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And from him, I have everything that I have. And I have to say thank you to Ribono Shel Olam and Miyached Yichudim and Mekaven Kavanos, Ki Hashema, Ahavas Hashem on the highest level. How do we get there? The Talmud Eliyahu says, Chayav Adam Loimar, one must say, Masai Yagiu Maisai LeMaisai Avoisai Avo Mitzvah V'Yakov. When will my deeds reach those of my forefathers? I want to have that Ahavas Hashem. How does one reach Ahavas Hashem? I think it's a $1 million question that is on everyone's mind, and if it's not, it must be. And we have to try and progress and become better at this and have stronger and more intense love to Ribono Shel Olam. How? So there are a few ways. Sefer HaChinuch in Mitzvah Taf Yud Ches, on the pasuk Ve'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol avcha v'chol nafshecha says, it says Ve'ahavta, you're commanding me, you shall love. But I still don't know how. Eini yodea keitzad oyev Adam es hamakom. How do you do it? Talmud lo imar, ve'hayu hadvarim asher anoichi metzavecha hayom al levavecha, says the Sefer HaChinuch, go and learn Torah. She'im ha'isboinenus b'Torah, when you learn Torah, tisyashev ha'ahava balev behechriach. No matter what, you're going to fall in love with the Ribono Shel Olam. Great. What if I'm a woman? Doesn't apply to me. What if I can't sit and learn too much? I don't know, he's a doctor, he's performing surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery. He's doing great chesed, but he can't. Sefer HaChinuch provides the path called learning Torah. Comes the Rambam, he says, I have a different one. Hilchos Yisodi HaTorah, Perek Beis, Halacha Beis, says the Rambam, B'shah sheyisboinen ha'adam b'maisav, u'bruav ha'niflaim ha'gedolim, and he will see the unbelievable wisdom of Ribono Shel Olam, שאין לה ערך ולא קץ, infinite wisdom. מיד הוא אוהב ומשבח ומפאר. Immediately he's going to love Ribono Shel Olam. He's going to praise Ribono Shel Olam. And he's going to have this unyielding desire to know HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By the way, many people misinterpret this Rambam. And they think the Rambam here was either a travel agent or worked for a travel agent. And this Rambam says, you must go travel! Go to the Everest! Go to the Grand Canyon! That's not what the Rambam says. You don't have to travel. The Rambam doesn't say you have to see spectacular things. He says, Bruav, look at each other. Uvemaisav, open the window every single morning and say, wow, I see sunrise, I see the shkia, I see mountains, I see whatever I have in front of me. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Maybe if you happen to go to the Grand Canyon, you'll see him again in a different place, a different way. Wow. But there's no mitzvah to go there. And if you go, give aldik, you'll enjoy it. Okay, so this is very important because I think many people think that the Rambam had some stocks in a travel agency. I don't know. So we have learning Torah. We have, I don't want to say traveling, because what if a person doesn't like to travel? He doesn't have shutters. He's close to a place he can't look out. A third way. It's pashut. If your neighbor, that you're not crazy about, started giving you $1,000 every single day, will you not love him? He doesn't owe you anything. And every morning he comes knocking on your door, he's 1,000. What if he gave you 2,000? Every single day. Doesn't miss a day, only Shabbos, comes mostly Shabbos. Of course I'm going to love him. Yeah, but he's kind of nasty. He gives me $2,000. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you much more. Every single day. Even though maybe yesterday we took some long strides. Our eyesight is still here. Digestive system. Shoulders are working. Knees are bending. Our brain, our wife, kids, house, car, whatever person has. A gift from Ribono Shel Olam doesn't always say anything. If you view it as $1 million every single day, how are you going to love him? A person comes to you and says, I just acquired this unbelievable sensor. It's a love gauge. You see this guy over there? Love him in the next 30 days more so than you love him now. If you do, I'm going to give you $1 million. Do you think you're going to find a way to love Ribono Shel Olam? Afade. So you go over and you start talking to him. What do you do? Where you're from? Find something in common, and you don't. You don't. He's also kind of rough on the edges, and he's kind of nasty. but $1 million are waiting for you. Are you going to find a way to focus only on his good character traits? I love it. You're going to ignore everything and he's going to say, he had a reason, different background. You're going to convince yourself. And what if after 30 days, they find that, in fact, you love him just a drop more, you get $1 million. The guy comes to you and says, listen, you have another 30 days. If you find a way to love him a drop more, you're going to get $2 million. Will you find a way? Pasha did yes. That's the Rebbe Shalom. Everything you have is from him, and he is the one going to shower you with more than 2 million. So if we think that we're going to find love to Rebbe Shalom, but Anu Chidish. And that's the reason I brought this. A fourth way. Michtav Eliyahu says a remarkable thing. We tend to think that giving is a product of love. When I love someone, so I give him gifts. Giving is a product of love. Comes a Michtav Eliyahu and says, you're wrong. Giving yields love. He says, I'll prove it to you. Mistama, this doesn't apply here. But you should know, out there, some kids, sometimes, don't always listen to their parents. I know, it's a chiddush, you never heard of it. You should know. Some kids don't always listen to their parents. You never heard of this, right? I know. And what does the parent do? He continues showering them with more and more and more gifts. Why? He doesn't listen to you. The more you give, the more you find love. When the father stops giving, love will cease as well, or it will diminish. Says the Michtav Eliyahu, look at your children. Look at a person who built a building, arts, whatever he created. When you create something, when you plant, he discusses trees and plants, he discusses buildings. When you create something, because you gave from yourself, you find love. And he says, if you don't believe me, try it. Which means, if your wife said something nasty, she upset you, go buy her a gift. You want to find love. Give and you will find love. Giving yields love. It's not that giving is a product of love. It's the opposite. If the wife is upset and her husband, let her bake him a cake. Nobody wants to fight. Just how do we end it? How do I re-love him again? No problem. Give gifts and you will find love. He says, try it on people and you see that suddenly everybody becomes your relatives. You love people. That's the Michtav Eliyahu says. The Lev Eliyahu, Rebbe Lapian used to always say, the root of the word ahava, love, is have, which means to give. You want to love someone? Give. Give. You're going to find love. Many times you see a Baal Tshuva. You see a ger, a convert, how they daven, and it's awe-inspiring. It's like, wow, look at that fire! And I'm not talking about the first week. The first year they're in the business. 20 years later. Much more fire than a boring FFB who grew up with davening. Where is that fire coming from? How do they have to maintain it? I think the answer is very simple, based on this Michtav Eliyahu, based on the Lev Eliyahu, the Ber Lapian. What the convert and Baal Tshuva had to do is to give, to sacrifice so much more than an FFB. They have to sacrifice their family ties many times, their friends, their surroundings, sometimes their jobs. The tirha, the burden, the money. Suddenly in the middle of life, go spend money for a tefillin. Go change your wardrobe if you're a woman. Go change all the pots and pans and all the dishes and everything. You know how much money that is? What an expense. And everybody looks at him, what happened to you? Ugh, you became one of them. What a sacrifice. But since when you give, you find love, the Baal Tshuva, the convert, gave on the highest level. So Mimele, they have the highest level of love towards the Bnei Shalom, more so than an FFB who doesn't have to sacrifice. He grew up with these concepts. So I don't drive on Shabbos to the beach while eating shrimps. Big deal. It's not even a challenge. Before Baal Tshuva and Agir, it's an unbelievable challenge. It's a major sacrifice. Oh, you sacrifice? You're going to find love. Good. Brachos Num Daled Amud Aleph. The Gemara dashens the pasuk, Ve'ahavta Hashem Elokecha. B'chol levavcha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol yodecha. What is b'chol levavcha? Two hearts. Yetzer tov, yetzer hara. B'chol nafshecha, even if he takes your soul away, mesirus nefesh. B'chol me'odecha, even if you have to spend all your money. We normally understand this pasuk to mean, Ve'ahavta, you should love. I'll tell you how to apply it. You have to be willing to sacrifice everything. I think this pasuk not only is saying what the Gemara says, but there's a remez here, how to find the Avas Hashem. The pasuk is asking a question. Ve'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha? Question mark. Do you want to find love? I'll tell you how. V'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha. If you're willing to sacrifice everything you have, if you're willing to give Rebbeinu Shalom everything, like that Baal Tshuva, like that convert, you will find love. It's an instruction. It's a guide. How to find love. It's obviously what the Gemara says as well. It's the application of how to love. You must be willing to sacrifice. But it's also a directive. You really want to find it? I'll tell you how. Be willing to separate from everything you have. Levavcha, nafshecha, die for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you're willing to do that, you're going to find, a very, very intense love. And this theme continues. This is Parshas Vayischanan. One parsha later in Vayikev. Ve'ahavta Hashem Elokecha. Don't read it. V'shamarta mishmarta v'chukoisav u'mishpatav u'mitzvoisav kol hayamim. It's a question mark. Are you asking me ve'ahavta Hashem Elokecha how to arrive there? I'll tell you. Keep everything that he tells you. V'shamarta mishmarta chukav mishpatav u'mitzvoisav, because it's going to cost you a lot of money. The mitzvahs, the chukim, the mishpatim, put them together, keep everything. You know how expensive that is? What a sacrifice. You have to refrain from so many things that you would like to do. You sacrifice it, instead of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're going to find love. When you sacrifice on the highest level, you're going to find the highest level to Rebbeinu Shalom. So we just have to reprogram ourselves. We're not going through the motions and doing what they're telling us. We're wanting to sacrifice everything, to give everything to Rebbeinu Shalom, because we want to find love to Rebbeinu Shalom, and we will.